Gemini, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with a reading. Gemini, this is going to be what are their true intentions in love. And Gemini, in this reading, we're doing it different because a million songs have been written about routine and how it, like, you know, takes away your whole life. Yeah, routine. Yeah, it maybe brings about boredom. Even in relationships, it can kind of really ruin things, right? So we're trying to do things a little bit different here. Yeah, variety is the spice of life. I feel like we've been hearing that. I used to hear that when I was a little kid. Yeah, sugar and spice and everything nice. And it's about little girls. But there was another expression about, what's it called? About variety, how we need it, right? We need a little bit of change in our routines. But let's get into this. I don't even know how we got into that, right? I don't really know. Let's look at the rose and the sword here. This is showing up first, Gemini. And we have this card of forgiveness and anxiety. Something's eating away at you. Maybe you want forgiveness for some type of moral judgment you made in the past. We have the morality card, like some type of, maybe something you did and you could be wanting, you know, forgiveness. And, you know, normal. Forgiveness is part of life, right? Let's look at the rose and the sword here. I know it's about a deep love situation. I feel like it is. And man and woman are two parts of one whole. Their world should be two. And they should divide between them all qualities so that one is labeled female, so that no one is labeled female or male. Okay, so the rose and the sword is about combining qualities, right? The rose is the love, the sword is the polar opposite, kind of, right? Let's just see what it says. Some qualities have a feminine feeling: love, compassion, sympathy, gentleness. Then there are male qualities: courage, strength, and steadfastness. Until now, they have been separate dimensions, and this is a great pity. To be complete and whole, a man and a woman must have all the qualities, right? Both must be soft like a rose petal and hard like a sword blade. This should depend on the situation. If the situation needs a sword, you must be ready. If the situation requires you to be a rose petal, you must be ready. This flexibility, rose petal to sword, and vice versa, will enrich your life. So, you know, if you guys are watching and, you know, you're in a same-sex situation, then this is just about blending different qualities, and that at some time of life, you know, sometime in life, we have to have kind of both, or choose which one, right? Which quality, to male or female, like to kind of, you know, utilize, kind of. But something's eating away at you here. Something's eating away at you. We have the anxiety, and, you know, the tiger is kind of, you know, in Buddha's mind here, right? And the tiger's covering Buddha's face. Yeah, how dare he? And then we have the second archangel, second chakra, which I think is about compassion. Let's see what that has to say for you, Gemini, right? That card. And this is Ariel. Yeah, see what we got about Ariel. And this is intimacy and creativity. What did I say? Compassion. This is about intimacy, though. I just feel like you might want forgiveness for somebody. Maybe you want to give somebody forgiveness, right? Let's get into the reading here and see what it's about. And let's see what we have. In the past, Gemini, you had the Two of Cups. And it was showing up in the reverse. I'm not really reading these in the reverse, though. So let's see what we have. We can, maybe. But this is about two people who love each other. The Eight of Staves is showing up. This is growth, expansion. And we have the beautiful doves here. This is the energy you're in. And right now, you could be. Judgment is in the challenge here. And this is Tannhauser and Elizabeth. And I believe he's asking her for forgiveness. I believe so. Because here she is looking out, you know, over the balcony, and he's down here. But we're going to have a look at that in a minute. We're going to take this Two of Cups reversed, because I do feel like it is reflective here. I feel like there was some problem in the past with somebody you really loved. Maybe you are growing the situation with them, because the challenge, I feel like, is forgiveness. It is. And we have it right here. Interesting how we have Buddha and then we pull this other card and here's Buddha again. So let's see what you want. And it is the Three of Staves. And this, I believe, is expansion. Let's see what you are fearing, Gemini, or doubting. And the Nine of Staves, right? And this is like the Nine of Wands. It is, and it kind of looks like this man is like praying here at the top of the hill. It kind of looks like these staves are burning, but they're wands. But we're going to find out in just a minute here. I feel like you want to give somebody some type of forgiveness, or you feel guilty about it. You could feel guilty about something you did in the past, Gemini. It's possible here, right? We're all human, OMG, right? Yeah, we are. And let's see what it has to say about these here, right? The Two of Cups reversed. We know this is some type of breakup, or maybe, you know, and this is reversed infatuation, overindulging in sensuality for the sake of the emotional high. I feel you might have been with somebody in the past, and you want to kind of smooth it over with your person. It's possible here because Judgment is the challenge, and the Eight of Staves is showing up here, and this is really the Eight of Wands. It is about expansion and growth. Maybe not. The communication, movement, and release. Well, movement is expansion. Yeah. Release. Sudden communications. Okay, so this is why I'm looking at the book here, because it's a little bit different. This deck, it is, right? This is the Lover's Path deck, and but here, Gemini, I feel like maybe you're communicating with somebody here. Sudden communications, movement. Let's see. Energetic movement, quickness, and suddenness. Unknown information finally released that makes sense. You could have got some information here from somebody that made sense. I feel like you could be finding out, like you could have had some other relationship that is not with this person, and you could have found something out possibly about a situation you have with somebody else. Like you could be receiving some sudden communication that kind of clears things up for you. Maybe you're realizing that somebody was just kind of like a one-night fun, or a quick, like a fling, right? You could be, right? We all kind of gone through that. Yeah, I feel like we have. We're old enough. And, you know, you could be realizing that something was just a fling, and now you just kind of want forgiveness from somebody, maybe who really, really loves you. Because he looks like he's asking her for forgiveness, and Judgment, it can, you know, it talks about forgiveness sometimes. It talks about a rebirth as well. Let's see why your challenge is Judgment, Gemini. Let's see. And this is number 20, of course, in the Major Arcana. They switch them around in this reading, though, do they? They make their own numbers, they do. And this is known as Judgment. Yeah, they didn't change the name. And this is choices, passages, and changes. So interesting here because, you know, choices, Judgment can be a decision. Passages and changes. You're going through some type of a change here, and you realize, I feel like you realize you had a fling with somebody, and maybe you thought it was going to be something more. I feel like you might feel a little guilty here about it with your person. Forgiveness is here, and this is just straight forgiveness. And we have anxiety. Let's see what it says about Judgment. And it says, Tannhauser loved the virtuosus Elizabeth. He left her to wander the world in search of adventure. During these travels, Tannhauser exhausted. Let me see, these are so small. Yeah. Enchanted Venus, I believe. The goddess of love. Let's see over here, you guys. This is really tiny. The goddess of love. Okay. She quickly seduced the mesmerized, and brought him to her magical kingdom. In time, he longed for his true love, Elizabeth, unable to prove himself worthy of her to others. He went on a journey to repent, which is to kind of, you know, ask for forgiveness, right? Upon his return, Elizabeth collapsed into his embrace and expired, leaving only her pure love behind. So when he finally went back to Elizabeth, she died in his arms. That's what it looks like. Or maybe she just fell to his love. It says that she expired, all right? But the whole point about it is that leaving only her pure love behind. Yeah, it looks like she died, right? But this is about forgiveness, right? And so he wanted to go on an adventure, and he got together with, I forgot her name already, but I forgot her name, but it was just talking about her. So he went on an adventure, and he was with somebody else, and he realized that I really love Elizabeth. So this is your challenge. And I was saying at the beginning of the reading, you feel a little bit guilty about something, Gemini. Yeah, there's a little bit of guilt here. There's some type of overindulging, right? It's also possible here that you really wanted to return to somebody over here. Yeah, you really wanted to, but you didn't get to. It's really interesting reading because you could want forgiveness from the person you're with, but at the same time, there's like this yearning here, like in your challenge, like you could have really wanted the person that you had a fling with, although you want forgiveness from your person. It's really an interesting reading here. It's like an interesting kind of dynamic. So let's see here. But this is about forgiveness. Let's see what else we have. Let's look at the challenge here. Let's get another card on the challenge for Gemini. The Devil and the Chariot card. So you might feel, fear here. And maybe you're dealing with Cancer right here in the challenge. But you look like you have some type of fear. You could be dealing with Scorpio. Judgment is Scorpio. But you look like you have fear here. And you feel like kind of in bondage maybe about this. It's really interesting in this reading because we have the three of, one of these cards is about movement, yeah, and I feel like the eight of staves could be movement, but my point about it is that I just feel like you struggled with this situation. You could have like been on your own case here about morality, like feeling guilty a little bit about kind of having some type of a fling. But I do feel here that even if you realize that you wanted to go back and be with this other person, I still feel like you kind of love two people here on some level. Yeah. So the Three of Wands is what you want. It's called the Three of Staves. I feel like it's movement and expansion. Let's see with the Seven of Cups. And let's see what it has to say because, I kind of forget here, but because this is different, it is waiting, successful enterprises and planning. Okay, so this is like planning a manifestation. This is what you're hoping. It's possible here, you have the Seven of Cups with it. OMG, waiting, successful enterprises. An enterprise about to accumulate to success. In success, the ability to transform goals into realistic action. It's also possible that you, for some of you guys, you want to make a decision to walk away from somebody. And you may ask them for forgiveness. Really interesting reading. Because the Seven of Cups can talk about, really making a hard choice. It just looks like on some level you want to make a choice to kind of move away from somebody, to be with somebody you want, and maybe you want forgiveness from the person you could be walking away from. But I don't think you're actually doing it. I think it's just like this kind of like, what if I decided this? What if I really did choose that kind of? Knight of Cups. Yeah, you're confused about some type of love here. I feel like you are. It's also possible you really wanted to make this choice, but I feel like you are not. Maybe you are hoping over here on some level that this person that maybe you are with right now is kind of like... you could be hoping somebody's waiting for you as well. It's a really interesting reading because you have two different energies here about two people. You do, Gemini. The Nine of Staffs is your fear or your doubt, showing up at the Hangman. So there's some type of waiting and feeling stuck in this reading about making a decision or feeling stuck about forgiveness, but there's some type of I feel stuck. Yeah, there definitely is. And the Nine of Wands, let's have a look at it. It is. I feel like it's a good card in this particular read. Let's see what it says. But this is in your doubts and your fears. Responsibility, pause before success and work. Temporary success. A pause and work to rest, to reconsider plans, need for protection or separation from others who may not be fully supportive in order to finish a project. What you are afraid of here is that this could just be temporary. If you choose to go, and that's what Elizabeth and Tannhauser was about, because he went off to be with this other woman. It was Venus. Yeah, there you go. He went off to be with Venus, and he realized it was temporary. So you're fearing here that if you make a decision to kind of go off with somebody, it could just be a temporary success. Yeah, we're going to end this reading, Gemini. And we're going to go to the extended. We're going to do your person's complete Celtic cross. We're going to see how they feel about you, Gemini, the issues between you both. What's on their... No, we're going to see their current energy. This is how we're going to do this reading. And what's crossing them, the root. We're going to really get down and see, you know, what's going on with them. We're going to look at their recent past energy, what's on their mind, and in their near future, their concern or their worry, their environment, and what they want. We're going to see what they want and their outcome. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here. And we'll get a card on the shared energy between you and this person. Yeah, this is an interesting reading here. You're really concerned here that if you make a really hard choice, it's going to end up as like some type of temporary success. Thanks so much for joining me here. God bless.